We're live. Ooh.
Hello, I'm Matt Bergman, and you are watching the Punk Rock, or listening to the Punk Rock Libertarians podcast, episode 246. I'm here tonight with Jared Schneiderman.
What up?
Philip Dassing.
What is up?
Kyle Wagner.
Hello.
And Philip Proctor.
Yo.
Hey, thanks for being here, guys.
Podcast.
2 fills, 1 cup.
Yeah, so, all right, topic number 1 tonight is the UPS driver. So the UPS, Jared's got the documents on this.
I got the docs.
Yeah.
So basically what happened was a pair of armed robbers and 2 others, including the driver of a hijacked UPS truck, were killed in an exchange of gunfire with South Florida police officers after the suspects led authorities on a high-speed chase. The robbers had held up a jewelry store on Thursday before commandeering, that's a $5 word, the UPS truck and holding its driver hostage, according to Coral Gables police. After fleeing the scene and evading police for dozens of miles, the truck stopped in the middle of rush hour traffic as armed officers surrounded it. So that's, part of the story there. But the big part of the story that's got everybody riled up is the fact that during this shootout, they killed the hostage.
The police did.
The police killed the hostage, and they also managed to kill a citizen whose vehicle they were using as cover. So if you watch the video, you can see, and there's a video out there. If you watch the video, you can see these cars. The UPS truck is kind of like in the middle of the road, and then there's cars sort of trying to drive past it to get out of the way, and the cops are literally following behind the car, with their guns out. Poking over the top of the car.
It was like Operation Human Shield.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, they were, and they had no regard for the hostage's life. Typically, you would think they would have, some sort of hostage negotiation. It's not like these people were, when they were in the street. It's not like they started just shooting randomly into the crowd. It was just, they got into a firefight with the police.
Well, that's incompetent gun handling by the police. You're responsible for your rounds.
Right.
And they ignored that rule of firearms.
There's one other video where someone happened to be driving up next to the UPS truck on like a flatbed getting like towed out, and they like had their cell phone out and went like right up to it, and there was just like 100 bullet holes in the side of this thing,
and like blood coming from the door.
Oh yeah,
but this was after the shootout.
This was after the shootout. Yeah, this was just clearly there were like bullet holes that were like not even close, like that were just like fucking like in the middle of the truck.
Police training is notoriously shit.
Yeah,
I saw it was a meme or an image, but it was like a where all the police were standing around this thing in the line of fire of their bullets, and they're like. The red lines are going right into like passenger cars, and they're going all over the place. It's like obviously a very dangerous situation to be shooting there.
Yeah,
and it's easy to miss, and it's easy to kill people. So clearly a poorly handled situation. Do we think anybody's going to be held accountable or
no?
Unlikely.
So.
If history is any indication, I would guess no. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I heard a story like that detective that shot himself in Baltimore, allegedly shot himself. That was the most fascinating story, and it really, I guess it got national news. It was a detective.
Whatever happened with that?
Sean Suter, they ruled it a suicide.
Did they?
Yeah, well, he was he was set to testify the next day against corrupt police in Baltimore City.
Yeah, didn't he call Alex Jones the day before and say he wasn't going to commit suicide?
I don't know about that. I mean,
is that true? Or you just made that up?
I think he just made it up. Yeah, but this story has a lot of nuance. Like they shut down the neighborhood where the incident happened for like 6 days.
That's right. And the ACLU is suing Baltimore City for that.
Yeah.
Required people to show their IDs to walk into their own fucking home.
Yeah, they put the neighborhood under martial law, and it was a low income neighborhood. But so the ACLU is suing the Baltimore City Police for their actions, which were, I'm sure, unconstitutional. I mean, how long can you honestly keep people out of their homes or keep them trapped in their homes? And it was just a very suspicious death. I don't know. I mean, I would guess that he was murdered, but I don't really know for sure. I would assume that he was killed.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to believe.
No.
He was supposed to testify against a bunch of other cops. Was that the thing?
Yeah, so we
Gun
have
Trace Task Force guys.
That's right. Yeah, I was going to say it's a gun trace task force. We had this group of police in Baltimore City that was caught. What were they doing? Planting evidence, and
There's a whole laundry list.
They were taking drugs
Down to
confiscated off the streets and then
overtime
selling them
fraud
to cops in Philadelphia in exchange for like for money for them. Like they were swapping that and guns or something like that.
yeah.
But with other Philadelphia police officers.
When you have a city where the community already is distrustful of the police, it's like the worst thing that can happen is you have all these super corrupt cops. So it's you can't tolerate that. There has to be zero tolerance of that. But it is a little bit of a band of brothers, and they watch out for each other. And I don't know if Detective Sean Suter wasn't murdered. He probably just had so much apprehension about telling on his fellow police that he killed himself, which is also a possibility. So they have like the same kind of mentality that the community has, which is don't snitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he should have snitched. He should have ratted them out because they're dirty cops and they should be stripped of their badges and put in jail.
Mm.
So instead he either shot himself or was killed. But. So it's a really interesting story, but I didn't mean to totally change the topic from the UPS driver.
Yeah.
I don't know too much more about that story.
Wasn't his first day on the job?
Who's
He's
that?
probably a
was his
seasonal. I worked for them for a bunch of years, so he's probably a seasonal guy for Christmas.
Sounds
No.
about
I
right.
think what happened was that he was on a new route, or he had was subbing for somebody else's route, and so he
It's
it was
likely.
like one of those weird things. It's like he shouldn't have even been there.
So it's like worse than getting fired on your day off.
Was
oh Jesus,
jeez,
dude.
Bill. Was he the hostage? He was.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
driver was the
The
hostage.
driver was in the car, and so they what happened was they robbed this jewelry store, and the jewelry store owner actually had a gun and shot at the robbers. They shot back and wounded the You all right, dude? They shot back and wounded the jewelry store owner and took off.
pork.
And then by taking off, I guess it was a UPS truck sitting outside. They commandeered it, and
It's like
held the
Grand
guy
Theft
hostage.
Auto.
Yeah, it
Just run
basically
in.
was.
Well,
yeah.
those UPS drivers, man, they leave their doors open all the time.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Are you victim blaming the UPS?
No, I'm just saying. It's like you see an open door on a vehicle, you're like, that's the one I'm taking.
Well,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
jump
mean-
in there, just like
It's
Grand
double
Theft
party.
Auto.
It seems
Probably-
like
they
the
don't have to,
worst.
like reverse out of. There was probably double.
Yeah, but I
parked
mean,
Did you guys ever play like Grand Theft Auto where you like steal a van or a truck? And
but
you
yeah,
run,
truck would be the
yeah.
last thing I'd steal, though. You know.
Oh, that
in
was
Grand Theft
awesome,
Auto.
man. Driving that truck around, and just
Yeah, but
running
it's so
over
unwieldy,
shit.
dude. You go around one
It was
corner
so much
and you're like
fun.
sliding down a
Steal a
road.
Camaro, not a fucking
Yeah, exactly.
delivery truck.
I,
steal
I
the-
don't
on
know.
a brown UPS.
The
truck.
Kamado or whatever they call it.
It was fun to steal whatever. That
Whatever-
game was so much fun. Anyway,
Whatever non-IP thing they got to call it.
they had something in where did it happen? Was it England or somewhere where they stole like a truck like that and they killed 12 people just running over people on the
France.
sidewalk?
Paris, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that?
It was
Oh,
more
it was
than that.
It
France.
was like 30 people. They
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a whole bunch
jeez.
of people, yeah.
Yeah, actually just rented a U-Haul today, so
Oh,
you know.
Shit.
I didn't
all
run
the
over
local
anybody,
federal
but
buildings
keep your
be on
door
alert.
No.
Keep your doors locked.
I'm just
dude.
saying, like you could do some damage in one of those things
Bought any fertilizer
before,
lately?
before they got to you.
So yeah, Kyle, you said so you just moved into like your new home,
Yeah.
and so today your girlfriend just moved in.
Yeah. Well, she was there all week, but we got her furniture today, so
And-
that's
and
what
you
I
were
had
saying.
to-
This is the first time for you with live-in badge.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm sure our female listeners.
This is
appreciate that.
awkward.
I mean,
Oh, our
your
fellow listeners are
words,
pretty
not
cool.
mine, Kyle.
They would enjoy
They're
that.
your words.
There's also two of them.
Live in
That's- I didn't say anything about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I was driving the U-Haul around. It's weird to go from my car, which is like just a normal, it's a sports coupe, to driving that thing, and it's just it's slow. I get it. I got to take the turns easy. And
Did you have to go on any like major highways?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
man.
went under the 895 tunnel. I had to go down to pick up a couch from my friend, and I'm like, it says there's like
Was it
this
the
little
casting
sign.
couch?
There's this little sign, and it's like, exit here to get your clearance checked. And I'm like, I don't know what my clearance is, but
Oh, shit.
and there's no thing that said you have
Well,
like
what did you? How big was it?
it was 11 feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
dude,
know,
you're
you're fine. Yeah, I didn't know though.
Unless you're getting that big ass one that's like a fucking semi, you're gonna be fine.
it was only 11 feet, so I'm like, I think it's
Which
good.
is insane that you can get one of those, like those fucking like 40 footers,
Yeah.
and you don't even need like a CDL.
Yeah, just like, hey man, here's my driver's license. Give me this gigantic truck. I know what I'm doing. Trust me.
There was like a Family Guy bit where he's like, I'm trying my a new start. I don't know. Never mind. Forget it. I can't
messed
remember
it
the
up.
whole thing. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
just like it's basically that.
I was terrified going under that bridge though, because I had to make a split-second decision, and the sign didn't say what the clearance was, and it's kind of up there. And I'm driving under. I'm like looking up at the roof, like, I think I got this. Like trucks come under here all the time, right? It's
Yeah,
got to be
yeah,
a good
it's fine.
clearance.
There's a web camera of a bridge in the south somewhere.
Oh, it's a classic.
That it's like every other day is a low clearance. There's a truck or a trailer or something that hits the bridge.
Jeez.
It's like, why don't they?
They have a station.
Oh, they have
camera.
Why don't
warnings.
they
They have
fix it, you
blinking
know?
lights that go off and
Wow.
sensors, and people hit it daily practically.
There's a whole compilation video. Like just every day, there's a new video of someone hitting that, and just ripping off the top of their truck.
I mean, but I mean, you would think if it's literally happening like every other day, that they would just like make the bridge higher there or
Yeah,
something.
fix
you
the
know?
bridge.
Yeah,
I don't think they
exactly.
can because it's a train bridge, and that requires.
Well,
a
who's got a
lot
monopoly on that
more.
road?
They have to dig. They probably have to dig, right?
My roads.
Well, no, I wouldn't. Well, I whatever it entails to like raise up a fucking bridge. For
it's a train. I
for
think it's a train bridge
Yeah,
or
it's a train
something. It's
bridge.
pretty
Can
serious.
you raise up? Can you have a train go like
Yeah.
like that? Just-
Yeah.
I guess
Maybe
It's a
they
big
could
project.
dig and like go
They
underneath.
could just make it a ramp.
They could just put a sign that says low clearance.
They do. There's
With blinking lights.
Yeah,
Hey,
you know
maybe
there's
you
not.
can
buzzers
dig out
and
the
shit.
road. You know, maybe the road can
We've been
dip
having
down.
we've had
Yeah.
a lot of problems with that lately in our community. Like there's these roads that are really sharp turns, or that you can't make left out of, like for these tractor trailers. And more since like the advent of GPS, these trucks are getting stopped on the road because they can't turn, because the GPS doesn't tell them that they can't make this turn. But back in the day, you know, it was like word of mouth. People would tell like, yeah, don't go down that road. Find another route. Find another one.
Yeah, GPS isn't that quite that
No,
sophisticated
not yet.
yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Oh, I see you're driving an 18-wheeler. You can't make this right.
Well,
you know?
you would think like Waze would have that down at least, right?
Mm.
I would think so.
I need to get Waze.
Eh.
It tells you where all the
I need to
cops
get
are.
Blaze.
What does that mean? Like you don't like Waze, dude?
No, I like
all
Waze.
about
It tells you where all
the
the police are, right?
Yeah.
So does
Yeah,
so does
totally.
my so does Google Maps now.
Oh, it
It's just-
does?
it's- well,
Not
Google
as- not
owns
as,
Waze. They're using Google data for
Yeah.
Waze.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think
Google
they might
owns
actually own
everything,
it. I think
man.
Alphabet might have owned the.
Well,
Why
yeah,
did they change the name to Alphabet? That was so stupid.
Well,
What's
Alphabet's like the holding company.
Yeah, but
for-
Google is just
Sure, it's a
iconic.
tax purpose
It's yeah,
thing.
it's
Regulations.
and I think there was some talk about just calling it Google, and I don't know.
It was
There's some
Google,
reason
and the
for it.
ticker for it was like GOOG
It still
or
is.
something.
It still.
I
is.
thought it was Alphabet. I thought they changed
Well,
it.
Alphabet is just like a different. It's like the holding company.
Hmm.
Then there's other stuff underneath of it.
So would their ticker say ABC then?
I don't know.
I got jokes for days. guys.
But yeah, anyway, I thought it was dumb.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
So cops suck. That was fucking awful. I mean, I don't know how you would just dive behind people in cars.
Well,
I'd be
I mean, you're
fucking terrified.
you're trained to take cover, so they took cover. It's just their cover was filled.
But why
with,
wouldn't you drive your vehicle up and use your vehicle as cover?
I don't know all those tactics and stuff, but I know you're responsible for the rounds you fire. You know, and going
That's citizens. Citizens are responsible.
well. Yeah, exactly.
Cops, you get
You know,
a little more leeway.
You know, there are
I got a
rules.
badge, so I can shoot.
I'm just
wherever
thinking
the
of
fuck I
so many
want.
like TV shows, like cheesy TV shows where like you're just a reckless cop, Murphy, but you get the job done. He's like the guy killed like 14 people, but he got the bad guy, you know.
It
Yeah.
was worth it, damn it.
It's like every Lethal Weapon movie.
Oh man, this is making me want to watch T.J. Hooker. Did you guys ever see that?
Yeah,
No.
with Heather Locklear.
Hell yeah,
Fuck
dude.
yeah, I was
Sorry,
in puberty
dude.
when
Yeah.
that was on.
Yeah,
Holy
dude. I think
shit.
that was like, wasn't that like her introduction to television?
Yeah, I believe so,
Yeah.
as far as I remember.
Yeah, same here.
She's like a mess right now, isn't she?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So am I. So I'm not in room to judge. So
Yeah,
No,
he's
not
a
like
mess.
not like she's a mess, man. She's like spiraling out of
Who was
control.
this? Close to Flockhart? What?
Heather Locklear.
Oh, Heather Locklear. Oh,
I'm pretty
that's too
sure.
bad.
Pretty sure I heard that.
She was hot. Yeah.
Poor
bro.
UPS driver.
What was that show?
Poor UPS
Melrose?
guy.
Was it Melrose Place?
I'm
she was
using
on?
FedEx
Yeah.
now. Oh, there was also. Well, actually, you know what? I do kind of want to only use FedEx because did you see what the UPS Twitter account posted?
Oh my god, it was cringeworthy. Yes, I saw.
Yeah,
it.
they were
Do tell.
basically. Oh, I wish I had.
They
it
were
pulled up.
licking boots.
Yeah, they were basically,
Oh, yeah.
basically saying like thank you to the cops for handling the situation. It's like
We're gonna cooperate fully with
Yeah.
them.
They should be the only one
They
with
should be
guns,
cooperating
right?
with you.
yeah.
They just kill one of your drivers. Like, God, like.
So they were like, so they killed the driver and then shot up the truck, and UPS was like, "Good work." is
We're
that
cooperating.
is that
or
really
something.
what they said? All right, Jared's
yeah,
looking it
we're
up.
getting the
Trying
docs.
to get the docs here.
All
Because
right.
the listeners, they deserve the docs.
Yeah, but we
Just
can't
look
have
it
dead
up.
air while he's looking it up.
Yeah, that's also sucks. So
keep-
that's why I'm
keep
talking.
talking.
It's called vamping. That's what I'm doing right now.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's vamping. It's a
Vamping's-
radio term. Look it up, man.
It's
good.
more of a.
I'm still doing it right now as we speak. Because dead air sucks.
I know. You want to
So
talk
does the
about
internet.
This website
apparently.
also sucks.
You want to talk about the next topic?
No,
Yeah.
man, we've gone too far. We have to get the tweet. It's coming, man. I promise.
Comes the tweet. Oh,
No!
doesn't exist. They must have deleted it.
Jared's getting that.
For anyone who was,
Jared's getting that page
Someone's gotta
does
have
not
a fucking-
it
exist.
said, he
Screenshot
clicked
of
on the
this.
link for the tweet and it says, "Sorry, this page doesn't exist."
I don't know what.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. Here it is.
We are
Oh.
deeply. So this is from UPS. We are deeply saddened to learn a UPS service provider was a victim of this senseless act of violence. We extend our condolences to the family and friends of our employee and the other innocent victims involved in the incident. We appreciate law enforcement's service and will cooperate with the authorities as they continue the investigation.
I mean, what did you expect them to say? You know, nice shooting, officers. Like, seriously.
Get better
It's like, you
training.
goddamn pigs. Get your shit together. I don't know.
Dear Florida Police, you owe us a truck and a and a
And an
driver.
employee.
Expect the bill in the mail. Send over your worst cop. Oh, God, that's terrible. That's
Just everybody unloaded. Everybody unloaded.
It's
It's incompetence.
but this happens all the time. There's another video. This guy was like, he's like a mentally disturbed man, and the cop goes into his house because he was accused of stealing something at another place during the day, and I saw on videotape, and she's a woman cop, and she's waiting for her backup to come because this guy's like getting like belligerent with her, and he's like clearly mentally disturbed, and his mom's there, and his mom's trying to calm him down because she's like elderly, and he's kind of like an older guy, probably like around our age, but you could tell he's like disturbed, and because he's just like, don't touch me, he's like constantly keeps telling him like, and then he starts getting like physical with her and starts like pushing her, and so the cop, she just, as like he pushed her away, she shot, like she just shot her gun and shot the mom, who the mom was trying to get her son to calm down and saying, you don't talk to her like that, you don't talk to a police officer like that, you don't talk to a woman like that, and so she was trying to de-escalate, and so the woman cop ends up shooting her.
Did she
And
kill
then,
her?
I don't think so, but then
good.
so her backup shows up literally like 10 seconds after she shoots the mom. And the guy's standing he's like kind of sitting on the ground, and he's like, "You hurt my mom. You hurt my mom." And her partner comes in and just comes straight to the front door, and the guy's not looking, and he just kicks the guy in the face and knocks him to the ground. And so the guy like gets knocked out almost instantaneously, clearly. And the cops call him this fucking piece of shit. Yeah, roll this motherfucking piece of shit over. And he's like, because I guess at first he thought that it was the guy who shot the mom. He shot his mom. He's like, "Is this his gun?" She's like, "No, it's mine." He's like, "Well, put your gun in your holster. What are you doing? Put your gun on." And she's all panting on the floor. It's just clearly none of these people were trained properly. None of them were trained. And he's like yelling at her to like,
Their police departments are too big. I mean, because of the war on drugs, they're
So
too
there's
big. And the government sucks at human resources, so they suck at hiring good candidates. And then they got to hire a lot of them. So you get shitheads that should not have guns and a badge.
and they even didn't they deny that one person because they had too high of an IQ, and so like they had like a standard now, like, it's like
Yeah.
if you have
You're
too high of an
smart
IQ,
for
I
this
never
job,
heard of
you're
that.
bound to quit.
No, that's real.
That's
dude.
real.
Look it up. There's news articles on it that aren't from.
and so it became
They're
a
like,
precedent.
whoa,
Hillary has AIDS.
brainiac, get out of here.
No, I see.
You and
another-
your education.
I see another tweet here.
You can't do this job.
That says a total of 19 officers from 5 different agencies fired into the UPS truck. A senior law enforcement source tells CBS Miami. So you're not even talking about like one agency that's like.
Did they know
a
there
bunch
was
of
a
bad
hostage?
apples.
Did they know there was a hostage, or it was just sort of like,
I don't know.
hoorah, let's light this
I
thing
mean,
up?
wouldn't you think that would be like important knowledge? Like identify there's a hostage in there.
Yeah, you would think
And
they
there's
would
a
know that
process to.
before they got the green light to fire. You
Yeah.
would think they would.
But there's also an element to it of wouldn't you? I don't know. I'm not a cop. I don't pretend to know cop tactics. I probably sound like an idiot to anyone who knows anything about it. But wouldn't you think that at the point where you're just like, these guys have limited ammunition. If they're shooting at us and they're not hitting us, we evacuate the area and we contain the area. They're going to eventually run out. They eventually have to come out sometime.
Right.
Like, let's not put anyone in danger. Let's just de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, why
And
not like get
if
all
they're
the
not-
civilians out of
yeah,
the area?
get everyone out. And then if they start hitting officers or they start hitting like innocent people,
Rocket
then,
launcher,
Yeah.
right?
Your mind's still set on
GTA.
GTA. Dude.
You only need to hit it once.
Just fire the RPG right in
Yeah.
there.
That reminded me of a girl I once knew. But never mind.
Wow.
Did she fire
She fired
RPGs
RPGs
at
at
UPS
you?
trucks?
Did she? Is that how she
No,
broke your heart?
I only had to hit it once, and that's it.
Ooh.
Anyway, that was a bad joke. I almost fell flat, almost like your joke before. All right.
I might didn't even make it out
Yeah,
the gate, dude.
You pulled the ripcord on that one
Yeah.
real fast. I just stuck by with mine. I even repeated it. Not good. Not good audio. Anyway.
All right, so next topic. Speaking of yanking one out, there is a hashtag going around on Twitter called ban porn. And I think its genesis lies in a tweet by this guy, Matt Walsh, who is a writer for the Daily Wire, which is Ben Shapiro's rag. And let me just pull up this tweet. I've got it handier than the other one.
This is the most docs you've had.
Dude, I'm trying to turn the
Love
show
it.
around, dude.
I love it.
What if people just instead of banning it, just didn't look at it?
So the initial yeah, well,
What a concept.
what a concept. So his initial tweet, and he's posted a lot since
Outrageous.
this one, but this one was posted yesterday. He says, "We live in a society, LOL. We live in a society where the most extreme and depraved forms of pornography are readily accessible to children. If your primary concern when faced with this epidemic is to protect the rights of smut peddlers and masturbators, I'd suggest that your priorities need realignment." He goes on to
what
say,
the fuck?
"Yeah." He
And
goes
those
on.
hairy palmed.
He goes on to say, someone says, "Hey kids, want to see a guy accidentally argue for deplatforming speech?" To which he responds, "Nothing accidental. Yes, I unapologetically argue for deplatforming all pornographers. Put them in jail too."
Kyle, are you going to
Wow.
fight for your masturbation rights?
That's not really how I would phrase it, but yeah. I mean, this guy can get out of here with the
When
bullshit.
masturbating is outlawed, only outlaws will masturbate.
If you,
Oh, man.
Masturbating Outlaws, is that a podcast
That
title?
is.
if you have kids, then I think you as a parent need to put some restrictions on the internet. You can't just have unrestricted internet for a 10-year-old.
Sure.
I think.
And
I mean,
it's
maybe
funny.
you guys, Matt, might be like, hey, if they're old enough to search it, they're old enough to look at it. But like,
No,
I prefer some restrictions.
no, yeah, no doubt.
They
no
have
doubt.
like kid-friendly internet, right? Don't these like there's YouTube Kids or whatever. There's sites. I don't have kids, so obviously I don't know what I'm talking.
Kyle, what would you do if you had a
Masturbating
10-year-old
Yeah.
and you walked in the room and they were watching like a flat Earth video on YouTube?
I wouldn't. I would be like,
Would you let them leave it on?
yeah. Yeah. I thought you were going really dark with
What
that.
if they
I
were
was like, I
jerking
mean, there's a
off to a
lot of
fire
worse
video?
things they could have. Yeah, that'd be weird. Yeah.
Well, it's also hypocritical. It's hypocritical. So Bob Murphy, you guys know Bob Murphy.
Yeah.
He
I think David Dahl told me about him.
Oh man.
Hi, Dave.
He yeah. Jesus Christ. He made he did a tweet. He did a Twitter. And he said he dug up this old tweet or this old this old article title that Matt had written, which said, don't blame or basically don't blame guns, blame fathers. basically saying like, it's not about controlling the gun. It's about controlling your kids if you're a father, if you're an adult, if you're a parent, which is basically the same argument you could use for pornography, like we're talking about. Like,
yeah,
it's not up to the government. It's not up to anyone but you to protect your children. I mean, sure, communities can help you protect your children, but
well, that's where they get this. They're like, the community's
It
going
takes
to,
a village.
Well,
it takes a village. Yeah, Hillary.
well, there's
Hillary,
yeah, and I mean that's the thing. They equate the government with the community, and they especially like the federal government with the community, and that's where things get muddy because, or at least for these guys, it gets muddy because, that's not the responsibility of government if there is any.
Yeah, especially not the federal government, which was set up for national defense and sort of facilitating interstate trade. And now it's become this like nanny state that just thinks they can micromanage every little thing, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to. I don't know how you roll it back. Like, I don't know how we get from the trajectory we're on and where we're at to being like, okay, this is going to be more local based governance.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got an anarchist would say no governance.
I mean, we can at least stop it from like expanding, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's
kind of
hard.
cool. Like, what if you could have a secession in a state? If a state could secede,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
that would be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I think some states tried that before.
I mean, assuming the state.
Right.
You sound like a neo-Confederate.
I mean, but then that also assumes the state just doesn't pass its own tyrannical laws.
Yeah, I mean,
That's sort of why, in principle, I don't think it works, but in principle, that's why you have the Constitution, because it's supposed to be like, all right, the states can pass whatever law they want as long as it doesn't abridge these things.
Kyle, question. So if Maryland were to decide to secede, right? Would you stay in Maryland, and or would you leave and go with the United States?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. It's really hard to fathom because so many people that live in Maryland work in D.C.
Yeah, they're a bunch of
So,
sadists.
like, it would have a major impact on our employment, And if they don't work directly for the federal government, a lot of them work for government contractors. Government's the number one employer in Maryland.
Yep.
Whether it's teachers or government contractors or direct federal employees, like half the state works for the government in some way, shape, or form. So it's one of the least likely states to secede.
Okay, so what if New Hampshire seceded through the Free State Project? Do you think you would move there?
Maybe. I would definitely weigh it because it would depend on income tax rates, but you're talking about a savings of, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars a year in taxes. There would be that financial incentive to move there, and especially.
But you'd also have to be concerned about whether the U.S. would impose like trade restrictions, trade embargoes, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you don't.
Or war. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be.
They may build a wall.
Like, you still need you would still need access to all the stuff that the U.S. has, like Chinese goods and foreign goods and all U.S. goods. You wouldn't want to be stuck in New Hampshire with only the produce of New Hampshire. That's why it's important.
Apples and maple syrup.
That's why free trade is so important.
Exactly.
So yeah, you would have to weigh that too. And then I think for me, obviously weather's a big factor. I think New Hampshire's probably too cold. I think Maryland's too
Get
cold.
to wear a ski helmet.
Personally.
Yeah.
I'm
starting to adapt to Maryland now, finally.
Everyone just
Where are
gonna,
you
yeah,
No, I mean, I've lived here my whole
everybody's head,
life, but
Phil.
now I'm just like, fuck it. Dude.
Oh yeah. Finally, after
I'm just like, fuck
30
it, it's
years,
cold.
you're like, all right.
I have to bring it back up, man. That was too good.
What?
What?
You guys, all three of you just missed that. What Phil just said.
What do you say?
Say it again.
You were talking about New Hampshire. I said you could wear a cool ski helmet.
That was good. That's
Plenty
true.
of skiing.
Yeah,
That
dude,
was
you could wear
amazing.
that shit like all the time, dude.
Yeah,
No one would judge you. Dude.
I need to.
You could go into church.
One of
with it.
these years, I'm gonna change that profile pic.
Never.
Dude, you can't, dude.
No, fuck off, dude.
How old are you in that profile pic?
That pic is like 8 or 9 years old.
8 or 9 years old?
Yeah.
And you're with another girl
Actually,
in there, right?
Yeah, it's.
Is that
I
your
think it's
sister or a girl?
2011. So
2011,
eight
damn.
years. Yeah.
Wow, dude.
No, that's my friend Laura. She's
Still a girl,
married
though.
now.
Still another girl.
Were you tapping it back then?
No.
Like, what was going on there?
No.
We get a little handy
she and
on
her,
the
she and
ski
her
lift.
sister used to go skiing with us, and I don't know. I just took that pic. It was one of the first pictures I ever took on my
Kyle, you didn't give her a lift?
smartphone. I did not. No. No.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
What are we
So-
talking about?
so I know
Banning
there's-
porn.
So yeah, so there's a lot. There's also like a lot of libertarians who think this way too about.
See, these aren't libertarians to me, man. These are
Yeah, if
conservatives.
Not about-
Conservatives are not
Well,
libertarians.
let me finish.
Sorry, go ahead.
They don't like. They're not like. They don't want porn to be legal, but they're just like, I stopped watching porn. I don't think it's good for the. It's good for your mind. It's good for anything really. It's,
Well, I
I think
Can I translate that? A guy that says that? He's saying my wife caught me cranking it, and now she's making me humiliate myself
Yeah.
publicly
I mean, look, there's
because we're
definitely
on the God Squad.
I mean, no, I think there could be some people that say that, but I
I'm pretty
mean,
sure Cal's one of those guys.
who knows? I mean, for all I
Yeah.
know, maybe porn could be unhealthy. I just don't see any reason
The thing
to.
is, porn
I
has
just
been
don't. I just don't see any reason to prohibit it as
Porn
long
has
as
been
it's all
around for-
consenting adults. I don't
Right.
see any reason to prohibit
yeah,
it.
for sure.
I mean, could it be unhealthy? I think that's debatable. It might be. I mean, I look at porn. I'm not judging anybody else here who looks at porn because I look at
Yeah.
it too.
Right.
What
But I'm
kind
just
of
saying.
porn?
I'm just saying maybe it's unhealthy.
Do you think the tranny porn is now like not PC anymore because they had to change it to trans porn?
Yeah, I think on Pornhub they don't call it tranny porn.
Yeah, they don't call
They
it.
call it trans porn or
Oh,
chicks with dicks or something like that.
Very,
cool.
very PC.
What's the correct political term?
Dude, it's so stunning that you know that.
It comes up on the
Non-binary.
toolbar, dude. What do you want from me?
Yeah, man. I remember.
Well, dude, but
the free market will figure it out, though, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. and going back to like the whole is it bad or not? I mean, pornography in some form has been in human culture for thousands of years. I mean, they've
Oh, it
dug up.
predates humans. They're drawing dicks on cave
Well, I don't think it
walls.
predates humans, but
No, I mean,
you mean like
I mean,
like
you just see
Neanderthals?
You just see a
Yeah,
Those
Homo
caves
bigger.
in
Neanderthals-
Spain and
Homo
France
habilis was
and
sitting there
shit?
jerking it.
Yeah, sure, like cave. There's cave art that has like tits in it. There's what are you laughing about, dude?
Let's think about jerking
there's,
off
like-
in a cave.
I mean, it was prevalent in like Rome, like all throughout
Oh, yeah.
Rome. I mean, this idea. I mean, sure, there's certainly unhealthy things. There's people that look at it way too much that should probably just back off a little bit. But to say that it's like
Phil's raising his
destroying,
hand.
to say that it's like destroying Western civilization, all this nonsense, that's fucking stupid.
Well, they think some of them think that it's like the
Yeah, they're
it's a
stupid.
no fat movement. They think you need your virility, you need your
I mean, it depends on the
testosterone at
person.
maximum levels.
It
I
depends
thought
on
you
the
said
more of
no
a man.
fat movement. I'm like, what the hell?
Kyle,
no fat.
another one we're starting.
Kyle, real talk. How many hours of porn for you per week?
Probably not even a whole hour, to be honest.
Yeah, he only needs like a minute, dude.
Yeah, about 2-3 minutes, I'm good.
How gross do you feel when you get to the end of the video? You're like, damn it, the video's still playing. I'm done.
I've
"Ah,
never,
shit."
I never get to the end. So it's like, oh, now I feel gross. Now I feel shame.
You're like, God damn it, where's the towel? Like,
Close this all.
Why am I still in this McDonald's parking lot?
Yeah.
what do you
No,
got,
where was Kokesh's spot? Was it a McDonald's?
I thought it was Walmart.
Yeah,
I thought it was
like
a
a
Walmart.
parking lot of some sort.
How's he
Oh,
doing, by
jeez.
the way? Is he still running for?
Yup, he's still running.
Was he getting into it with Hornberger about something?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's getting
Yeah,
into it.
tell us about
They're
that.
bringing up a lot of bullshit about Hornberger. Like, cause I love how this shit doesn't come out until he decides he's running for president. Like, no one's trashing Jacob Hornberger until he decides that he's running for
Oh,
president.
that's politics, man.
Well,
Yeah,
I know.
that's pretty-
So
that's pretty-
apparently, during the 2000 election, Jacob Hornberger noticed that the campaign for
Liberty?
for Harry Brown was getting these contributions to the campaign, which just didn't add up. Like, they weren't, like, none of it made sense. And so he brought it to light because he said, like, there's something shady going on. And they were, like, they violated some type of federal thing because it was just being real shady. And apparently, like, Harry Brown was, like, double dipping. Like, he was getting paid by the LP at the same time. It was, like, something that was, I don't know the exact details of it, but it was enough where Harry Brown, like, went, like, all shit, like, crazy at him. And then Hornberger went back at him. And they
Wow.
kind of got in an argument about that. And then eventually, like a few years later, the Harry Brown campaign admitted to, yeah, we did that. Like, it was something that was we did wrong or whatever. But it's like 20 years old.
I really liked Harry Brown too. I don't know what that was all about.
I don't know.
voted
Yeah,
for him.
I mean, like, yeah, you
One
like
year.
Harry Brown. Like everything I knew about him. Like now, at the time I didn't know. I wasn't a libertarian. I wasn't following that.
I voted for him. He was a presidential candidate one year.
I couldn't vote until
2000.
2008.
Yeah, 2000.
Well, 2006
I thought like back
technically.
in the 90s or something.
It was 2000.
It was the
Because
presidential
I remember
campaign.
he like called 9/11. It was a few months before the 9/11 attacks, and there's a video of Harry Brown being like, they're probably gonna fly planes into the buildings. I mean, it was like into the World Trade Center. It was like spot on. But he was talking about blowback. He was like, we've done this, we've committed this military aggression, and there's gonna be reprisals. And I believe, went so far as to say it was gonna be attacking the World Trade Center for revenge. So, he was on point with his blowback.
Yeah, I mean there was already precedent set then because of the 1993 bombing.
Yeah.
So I mean, but yeah, like Harry Brown was good, but apparently like his campaign, he was committing some type of violations. I don't know how legit they are or how in the
Maybe.
grand scheme of things, but it was enough where Jacob Hornberger felt like they weren't being honest with the campaign, and so he just brought it out, and he was pretty much vindicated through it. And it's 20 years ago.
How much money do these LP campaigns really even get? Like, I
Yeah, a lot to make someone a good chunk of money is what.
I don't know, man. I mean, a
walking
good
up
chunk
the
of money,
steps.
maybe, like, but compared to say a Republican or Democrat
Yeah, nothing
presidential
compared to that
campaign,
shit.
where in a quarter they're pulling in $20 million.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
it's
it was still
nothing like
enough.
that.
It was still enough that I wish I knew more about the details, but it was pretty much something that's been squashed, and the fact that like Kokesh and Berman and all these people are bringing it up just against Hornberger when like Hornberger is just like the nicest guy. It just reeks of just the smear campaign
Yeah.
politic bullshit.
I still haven't done my research on Hornberger. I have
He's
been
great.
so busy.
I mean, he's
I know Future Freedom Foundation, and he's been hosting a podcast or a webcast on that with
Alright.
Richard Ebling for a long
Okay,
time.
so basically, like the whole like criticism is Hornberger is too honest.
Exactly. He had enough morals, I guess. But then would say, well, he did it for personal reasons, and now they're saying because he released the book after he announced he was running for campaign for the LP presidential nomination. So the day he announced his campaign, he released the book. And so now they're saying, well, he's just running just to release books. Like that's what the audacious and the radical caucuses are saying. But it's funny
Well, no one
because
cares about what they
his
say,
book is $2.99 on Amazon.
Yeah.
So he's trying to sell books. He's trying to get rich.
No, I mean, maybe he's just trying to like promote his presidential campaign through his book. I mean, who
Exactly.
knows?
That's exactly what
I mean, but really, I mean, as long as his book doesn't say anything bad and it says good things that will bring people towards liberty, how is that a bad thing that he's releasing a book?
Exactly. So that's what I am a little biased because I did get off of a video
Yeah,
conference with him last night.
it's almost like when you're playing like PlayStation and you've got the headset on and you beat somebody's ass and they call you a tryhard. Because it's like, oh, he's a tryhard. It's like, yeah, well, we do want somebody to try hard. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If that's your worst criticism of the man,
But that's it. That's it. That's all they have, and that's what they're going with. And a lot of people are they're like crushing him for it. And I'm like, why is this?
He's
is
only in
20
it for the
years
book
ago.
sales. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, he's only in it for the book sales.
He's in it for the money.
The $2.99 a copy. And the thing is he all the money he get. Well, never mind. That's the Future Freedom Foundation is a nonprofit, so he doesn't get any money from that per se. But he can't use any of the if he was getting something from that, or I don't know the rules. But technically, he has to do this campaign out of his own money because that's a nonprofit, so they can't endorse any type of politics at
Yeah.
all. You probably know the
And
rules
I
better than
don't
me.
even know how much money the Future Freedom Foundation has. It sounds like a small operation.
dude,
to
I
me.
don't know, man. I heard they were raking in the Benjis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they get the Coke money? Did they get any of that?
Yeah, the coke money.
Yeah.
That's where it's
Coke,
at.
maybe that cocaine money.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
All right.
Talk about skiing.
All right, so it feels like this happened forever ago, but apparently it was on Tuesday. But Kamala Harris has dropped out.
Bye, bitch.
Yep.
Ah, bitch.
Yep.
Hamala, whereas Michael Malice likes to call her Hamala Harris.
Yeah, and Officer Harris, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I listen to some progressive talk radio on Sirius.
That's
So
unfortunate.
Of course
You know,
you do.
Why would you do
I
that
like-
to yourself?
He likes
I
torturing
like to
himself.
hear what
I'll put my balls in a vice
enemy.
sometimes.
I like to hear what yes. I like to hear what everyone's thinking, and they're very upset because now they have
They're
less
upset
diverse field than the Republicans had in 2016.
What a shit
So
way to
the
think.
Republicans had Cruz, and they had
You got 3 rich white guys.
who
in the
else? They
league.
had Ben Carson,
Yeah.
and they had someone else. And they're like, now we have all white people, and I guess
people.
they still have women, right? You still have Elizabeth Warren.
Well, wait.
Whoa,
I mean,
Tulsi.
and Tulsi-
Tulsi's a
not-
woman of color,
Tulsi's
dude.
not white. I mean,
She's
technically.
a woman of
Well,
color, bro.
I think maybe they don't like Tulsi.
They don't like Tulsi.
POC.
Yeah,
That's fine.
so I don't know. They were just complaining
Of
that
course.
there's no.
But what a shit way to think in life. Like,
That's how they think.
my
Phil.
options now are like, there's no one who has darker
Yeah.
skin who's running. Even though I wasn't gonna vote for that person, but they're not in it. That's a disgrace. Like, what the fuck?
That's
man?
how they think.
I-
That's what they care about. That is priority number one is identity politics.
like topic number.
and they
5.
don't want a white guy. And like, meanwhile, their leading candidate is like this
like 3 of them.
befuddled old white
Oh,
dude.
white people.
They're all befuddled, I guess.
I love that word, befuddled.
Uh,
fun to say.
Yeah,
Befuddled.
it's a boomer word, or probably even older than that.
You
You
guys,
got
you guys see
Sanders.
the video of
That
Biden?
word is
Whoa.
pre-boomer.
Pre-boomer.
I just dropped something, bro.
It's the greatest
Well, yeah.
generation.
Oh, not your.
What is
phone.
no? What is that generation
They don't
really
make those
called?
anymore.
I think that's what it's called.
I've heard that, but does it not have another name besides the
The one
greatest
I've always heard
generation?
is
You know
my-
what this
My
generation-
grandparents' generation.
Yeah, you know what this generation talk is? It's literally like one step above astrology. Like, it's, well, my generation is this, and everyone has their own hypothesis about this generation. It just sounds like you're reading your horoscope to me.
It
half the
does,
time.
you know, but I read something that was saying this is the opening salvo in an ongoing generational war that's coming up between the boomers and the millennials over money, right? Over entitlement spending, because the boomers are entitled to lots and lots of money through Social Security and Medicare, and the millennials
Just like the
gotta pay
generation
for
are
it.
going
before
to be
them.
the working generation, and they're struggling with tons of student loan debt, poor jobs, and they're going to have to pay for the boomers. So they're like, this could be a major, generational clash in the next 50 years.
Once again, it's government. Everyone's mad at each other when it's the government's fault. They're
Well-
the ones who created the Ponzi scheme of Medicaid and Medicare and
Yeah, they
the
spent
Social
all that
Security
money.
and all that bullshit. But so I could go on talking way too much about this stupid generation thing, but Kamala Harris is out, so it limits the field. So now there's not a Cory Booker still left. So is that the only other African American running?
I think I don't know.
I guess of the popular
That's
ones.
the only
Because
one I
he's
Stand
not-
a chance.
But he's not making the next debate either.
Yeah, his campaign hasn't really took off. I had heard or thought that he was going
It's
to
the
be
crazy
like a
eyes.
front runner, but I mean, it's it's
You see his
Biden.
eyes?
Oh, Tulsi's still in it, right?
Yeah, Tulsi's in it.
Yeah.
Who are the top three? Is it Biden? Is
But
Warren
Biden-
still up there? Or is
Biden-
Sanders ahead of Warren now?
No, it's Biden. Actually, maybe because no. I think Sanders is still below Warren.
What about Buttigieg? How's he
Yeah,
doing?
Oh,
it's
he's
Biden
number
and-
one. Yeah,
Biden and Biden's number one, and then Buttigieg, and then Warren. But apparently
And then
Warren was up
Sanders,
high
and-
until she.
Yeah, well, isn't Yang still in it or not?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
in
but
it.
he's
Oh
all the way
yeah,
at the
there's
bottom.
another.
So
Yeah.
what is it?
Well, yeah, he's
He's
an
a
Asian
POC,
guy.
man.
I
POC.
mean,
I
he's
called
a
him-
power bottom though.
Yeah, sure.
I called him Booty Peg. I guess that's not right.
No,
Booty-
it's
Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
Okay.
Butt plug for fun, if you want to say it. It's better.
But yeah, so apparently
But
her-
Bloomberg's
her-
in it now too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Bloomberg.
Bloomberg's in it.
Oh, that's right.
They were saying he spent more money in 2 weeks than like Harris spent in the last
Well, he's
11
got deep
months.
pockets.
I mean, he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
What do you want? But yeah, apparently Warren's numbers took a nosedive after she came out for Medicare for all. At least that was the article kind of correlated it with that, which is odd.
I
'Cause
thought
you
she
say the
was
word-
always.
No. She was she's kind of been like keep some of the private some of the private market.
Who,
in
Warren?
place. Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
she was that before she came out with that crazy thing that cost $52 trillion?
Yeah, but that was recently she came out with that.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Well, we redid it, and it's much cheaper. It's now only like a few trillion."
Just a few trillion.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck, man?
Just a gazillion.
Yeah.
Just one gazillion.
People can't
Tax
people,
the rich. We can pay for it.
It's weird because people say these numbers about like billions and millions stuff, and they really can't wrap their head around how many zeros, how many digits that is.
We can't count.
I mean, you just because you just
Well,
hear
they're
the
educated
names,
in
billion,
public
whatever. It's
schools.
only a few billion. It's whatever. Tax the rich. Whatever. There you go. That's what people think. Like the normies out there. But when you have to like sit down and think about it, and even 52 trillion says something to people like, whoa, I've never heard that number said before. I've heard a few trillion, but never 52 trillion.
I don't think they care.
I think there is something to that. There's not a lot, but a significant amount that would think, okay, yeah, she's not the one to vote for in this primary if she's talking about 52 trillion.
There's not one social democrat that cares about how much any of this stuff is going to cost.
But I'm not saying social democrat. I'm just thinking that the run-of-the-mill Democrat, the ones who are in these polls.
They don't care.
But you got to think, these polls go out to old people and who are like, yeah, we like Democrats, but deep down they're just boomers at heart, and they just think like, oh, that sounds like a lot of money.
Oh, Biden's speaking their language,
Oh,
man. He's
God,
talking
he
about
is.
the record players
Kids
and
jumping on he loves kids jumping on his lap. That
Hairy
fucking
legs.
weird.
Stroking his
His
hair.
blonde hair in the pool.
yeah, that's his move. He strokes the hair and
where
gives
you
it a
learn-
sniff. Right?
Jesus.
So what do you
Christ.
stroke and sniff?
Sick
Did you
fuck.
see the video of him at the town hall where the guy was
Sucking-
arguing with him?
Oh,
No,
he
I
called
did
the guy
not.
fat.
No, what?
Didn't he say like I bet I can do more push-ups than you or something?
Yeah,
like
the guy
that?
was
Wow.
the guy was like calling him out for
He looked
some
that fat.
Ukraine like with the guy.
The guy who asked the question.
Oh yeah,
I
he
just
was,
saw his sucking
Really?
his wife's finger.
I just saw the screenshot of it, and it was like,
You didn't
I
see
just
that
never
picture?
click.
he was definitely fat.
Yeah, you're talking about the finger sucking.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's sucking on his wife's finger.
Oh yeah, there was that whole
Ugh.
thing.
It's
No, I mean
normal
this
for
one
me.
wasn't as bad as those, but he got into it with like some guy in the crowd, and like he started to like say fat. It sounded like he was gonna say like fat ass, and he just like cut himself off. He was like fat, blah, 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 something
Wow.
like
You can't even say fat. That's fat shaming.
That's
that.
like
No, dude.
that's like him and the CEO of Curves, man. Those guys like to criticize people on their weight.
Oh yeah, Phil still has
Kyle's a
let that
witness
go.
to that.
Yeah, the CEO of Curves called said no. What he offered you
No,
he was-
no.
what did he say
The guy-
exactly?
The waiter handed us a salad. And he goes, "Yeah, you should definitely be eating more of that, or something like that."
or was it the rolls? And he
Bergman
was
would say
like,
to
you
you.
should
No, it
avoid
was
the
the
rolls.
salad. He was handing me
Oh.
the salad.
And this was like the first thing he said to you,
That
right?
was literally the first thing he ever said to me. The CEO of Curves.
I don't
Kyle
know.
was sitting right there.
I'm just gonna say I have a good feeling about that guy.
It was
we
a
have
weird.
an open boycott of curves
I'm-
currently.
It was a weird
Oh,
table.
okay, stop saying we, dude.
No, we as a podcast, dude. We got to rally around Phil.
No,
Dave Craig was the only one who had my back on that.
that's hilarious. Yeah,
Dave Craig was like, that guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah, and I was like, "Thank you." And Matt's like high five.
I was like,
I'm gonna
Dave
find this guy
Craig,
and high
settle
five.
down. You know,
Everybody at that table was like kind of high
They
profile,
were.
really
They were all-
successful in life.
Yeah, what were
Like,
you doing there, dude?
I know.
It was the Ron. It was at the Ron Paul
Me and Kyle were
Institute,
just
Peace and Prosperity.
Oh, you were there too, Kyle?
yeah, he
Yeah.
sat next to me.
Jesus.
They come around to us and we're like, oh yeah.
They were like, "So what do you guys do?" I'm a millionaire. He's a millionaire. He's an international journalist. What do you do? And I'm like,
I'm Phil.
I'm Phil. I'm a guest on a podcast.
Yeah, we didn't have too much to say. But
It was so funny. They're like, "Oh, that's cute." All right.
I was like, I run 10 Facebook groups.
I am the Libertarian Party. You don't even know.
for real, that was a story, man. I still can't get over that.
All right. Good times.
So
Yeah.
R.I.P. Kamala.
Yeah. End of watch.
So wait, I kind of want to skip to number 5, I think,
All right, man.
Let's do it.
since we're running out of time here. So Sarwark's white guys post.
Yeah, old Nicky Sarwark.
So what happened here? What did Mr. Shark Week do again?
I don't know. You want to look up the docs in this to make sure I
Oh,
don't say
Jesus.
anything wrong? I just say I'm testing your doc retrieving skills. But so he made it. He posted this thing. Well, the Libertarian Party itself posted this thing about.
It didn't post that though, did it?
No,
It wouldn't surprise
it
me.
was
but
the same. I'm pretty sure it was the same thing. I could be wrong. It was something about no. Okay, it was a different article, but it was the Libertarian Party first put out this thing on social media saying something about libertarians need to create this space that like bans racists or something like that.
Oh
So then
yeah.
He then was like, I'm gonna up the ante on this because he saw the response they're getting. So then he posted something about how white privilege. I think you just passed it.
Did I?
Yeah, right there. No,
Nah,
okay.
dude.
So then he posts this thing about white privilege and how do we communicate that you're a piece of shit, garbage white person without offending you and triggering you? Like that was pretty
No,
much the
it was
gist
how
of
do
the
we
article.
communicate that like you have things easier than or you have privilege right? You know.
Right.
And
yeah.
so that he posted a picture of a video game's difficulty settings where it's like easy, medium, and hard.
Well, that was the screen. That was the picture that came with the article.
Okay. Well, yeah, he shared this article, and that was the picture that came with the article. But the analogy was a video game analogy, and being a white male means you have your life is easier than someone who's not a white male.
I mean, he wrote like a whole article. I'm not going to obviously read the whole article here, but
No.
Jared, please read the
title-
entire article. Please.
it's reading time with.
Can we
with-
stop making assertions,
Reading time with
Mr.
the Jew.
Schneiderman?
We've got a new segment. It's called Reading Time with the Jew.
Hell yeah, dude! I love this idea, dude.
Yeah,
It's spreading
It's
diversity.
it's going to put all your kids to sleep.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the title of the article was "Straight White Male." Oh, he didn't write it. He reposted it, but
From 2012.
from 2000. Wow. Okay, progressive.
Yeah.
Straight white male, the lowest difficulty setting there is. So he felt the need to post this on the same day, which was yesterday, that the whole UPS thing went down. So people were rightfully calling him out about that.
Mm-hmm.
He also retweeted AOC the other day.
Of course.
Yeah, Nick.
That was another story we kind of didn't put on the board. Maybe save that for the after hours.
Yeah. Well, so here's what this looked like to me. And as someone who has minimal access to insider things with the party,
and intelligence.
you notice
Wow,
how
dude.
nobody laughed at that, right? I'm just clarifying, like that was
What?
dead silence
Dude.
except for you, all right?
Okay.
All right, let's
I
continue.
made myself laugh. Okay.
There you go. That's all that matters in life, making yourself
Somebody
laugh.
listening to the podcast
Especially at
Honestly,
my
yes.
expense.
might be laughing tomorrow. You don't know.
But anyway, so Nick posted this thing because there's now been an issue going on in the Libertarian Party. Guys like Joshua Smith, who's at large with the Mises Caucus, now that Dave Smith, Tom Woods, Scott Horton have all joined in the Libertarian Party and they're backing Jacob Hornberger, they all have links, right? So you guys could have, which we could still have. We were offered the same link that you get $5 of anybody who joins through our link, the Libertarian Party. And so now it's showing who's doing the recruiting. And I think since those links have gone out a few months ago, Joshua Smith is responsible for almost like 1,200 new registered libertarians.
wow.
And that's like enough to pretty much pay for the convention itself, which apparently I think the last convention they kind of had to like suck from like one of their emergency funds to pay for it. I think that was something that
Wow.
was
So
speculated.
yeah, mad props to Joshua Smith.
Yes. So he's doing all the recruiting. And so now Nick, as a party man, knows what that means. Like, I have to cater to these people now because his shtick this
Okay.
entire time has been, if you know,
Okay,
we're
I want to
here,
do a
show
podcast.
up.
I want to do a podcast poll. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Who here would cast their vote for Joshua Smith for LP chair?
Right here. I plan on being there to do that.
But I think we're all raising.
Oh,
No,
come on,
Kyle's
Kyle.
not.
You wouldn't do it?
I'm not. I'm undecided on it. You know.
Just do it.
I don't know.
Okay, so
I would like to see.
three out
Nick,
of
you like
5
Nicholas?
here.
Well, Nick
No,
isn't
I
running right
don't.
now. Nick is not running.
I would like to see.
You like Mike Shipley?
Shipley's the
no.
number 2 guy running. You know that, right?
No, I wouldn't go for Shipley.
Okay. So between Mike Shipley, Nicholas Sarwark, and Joshua Smith, who would you choose?
Probably Josh. I'd say Josh.
There you go. That's all we need.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
I mean, if you're
You
gonna
got
give
the,
me,
Kyle,
that
the
choice,
Kyle
Straw
Wagner
poll.
stamp of approval.
yeah, I just
PRL
feel like
straw poll.
Nick has really
Never
been
fails.
catering
Get the PRL
to
bug.
progressives for whatever reason lately. I don't really like all the identity politics that he promotes. So I just,
But
I mean-
that goes back to what's happening because the new people that are coming in, they're pretty much all going from the Mises Caucus people.
I mean,
Hey, Phil, would you say that Nick Sarwark is kind of like on the dick of identity politics?
Yes, he rides it a lot, and that dick is Mike Shipley's. Just like
Wow, dude.
I mean,
Wow, bro.
I don't know. I guess like as a straight white male, it's mildly offensive to be told like, oh, you got life on easy street just because you're straight white male.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
just completely dismissing.
maybe it is an advantage. I think it kind of is in
But that's
a
a-
majority white society.
okay,
like,
but that generalization is what the left would call dehumanizing language, and that's all they engage in is dehumanizing language. They're like, well, white people have it this way, or men have it this way, or rich people are this way. You're now lumping these people into these.
Yeah, I mean, is that homeless guy that I drove by and didn't give change to? Is he
He hasn't just cashed in his privilege yet.
Yeah,
I don't need
to
a-
cash it in.
I don't need another straight white male telling me how privileged I am. Like he can
Right.
he can just go fuck off, you know? Like
Wow,
I mean, seriously,
getting fired
like it's
up.
offensive to have somebody like talking down to you
Kyle,
like
when
that.
you said that, I think I felt my cock twitch.
It's
That was me.
it is
No, that was
it's-
me.
it
Sorry,
is
man.
That was
agitating.
Phil's
That was
hand.
me. Sorry.
Like I have struggled to think of the right word. Maybe it's condescending, but I'm just like
it's
I-
pandering too. It's very pandering.
I just don't appreciate it, you know? So like he should stop.
But Nick knows what's happening. So we chronicled this. He went to the Mises event in Lake Jackson, Texas. With it was Lou Rockwell, Ron Paul. I don't think Tom Woods was there, but I think there was pretty much everyone affiliated with the Mises Institute. Jeff Dice, I think, was also there.
Mm-hmm.
They all went to this, and he just showed up, and he personally invited Ron Paul to the convention because he knew that those 1,200 members, he now has to start to. He always talks about it's the party, come, just show up, and that's how you get to where you are. And people started taking his advice, and so now he has to kind of cater to those people that are coming in, and that pissed off a ton of his following. Between that and the fight for 75, dude, I'm telling you, man, people are really turning on him. Like you see it clearly. Mike Shipley turned on him.
Yeah, it's weird
Apparently
because
there was a real
Wait,
quick.
Shipley turned on Sarwark?
Sarwark, yeah. They got into an exchange online, but I also heard that there was, I don't know concrete for sure, but there was a verbal exchange in person between Andy Craig and Nick Sarwark, with Andy was flipping out on Nick.
Yeah, I
And,
mean, because the narrative that they're trying to push is that the Mises Caucus is a bunch of neo-Confederates and racists.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to show any kind of like warmth or welcoming to them, to that caucus, and anything with the name Mises on it is deeply offensive to his the far left faction, or whatever you want to call the Andy Craig. I don't know what's a good label for them. Like
Tom Woods calls them the loser brigade.
the loser brigade. I mean, it is kind of funny because it's not
I call them the
kind of
usual
funny,
suspects, but
it's all
That's better.
infighting within a tiny party that's trying to just get any kind of traction in American politics, right?
Yeah.
Very few candidates, no candidates in major offices, and yet we fight tooth and nail. I would say amongst each other, but like they do really seem very different to me. I kind of look at these
there
guys;
is.
they remind me of Democrats, and we probably remind them of Republicans. I don't know, or I probably do. I get called a Republican sometimes.
Huh. Well,
Imagine that. See, I told you.
yeah. So, guys, we have the after hours program going on after this. If you want to gain access to that, you
these
can visit us over at patreon.com/punkrocklibertarians and contribute a minimum of $1 per month, and you will be helping to keep the electricity on here in Anarchy Basement. Yeah, we also have t-shirts over at libertariancountry.com. If you type in the code PRL or the code PRL podcast, you'll receive a 10% discount. Until next time, live free.
Or die.